I bought the top branded high jump spikes, so you don't have to. Let's be real, there's almost no good information anywhere about high jump spikes. So here I am to save you from making the same mistake I did, spending more than $500 on high jump spikes. So today I'll be covering the latest Nike and Adidas high jump shoes, the asics high jump turbo, and the second most latest Puma high jump spikes. First up is asics. At US size 11 they come in weighing 329 grams, and they're tight and really thin, so they're a no-go if you have wide feet. They're also very stiff and aggressive, and actually the most aggressive on the list, meaning you can hit really high heights in these, but they do have a long break-in period. Personally, it took me a month before I actually stopped bleeding and getting blisters in them, and even then I got injured. So they're just that aggressive. You have to be really, really strong to handle these, is what I think. They're most comparable to the Nike Zoom High Jump 3s or Mizuno brand high jump spikes. And the only notable elite I can think of that uses them is Brandon Stark, although I do think Barsham was using them prior to being sponsored by Puma, and he would just tape them up because of, I suppose, his Red Bull sponsor. My personal take on the shoe is, well, they're not for wide feet jumpers. I like to jump in them personally because I feel like I could do really well, and I really liked them until I took the shoe off and saw what they were doing to my feet. They are very aggressive and stiff, which is important for getting high, but being that aggressive means they have a long break-in period and there is a higher risk of injury. Personally, out of the four, I rank at number 3. If they were a bit wider, I wouldn't have needed another spike. Second up is Puma. And yes, they do look a little small because they're not actually mine, they're my partner's. At US size 6, they come in at 226 grams, which is surprisingly light actually. They're a mid-width fit, as opposed to being really thin or really wide. They fit true to size, like the asics. These are very, very stiff. More stiff than the asics, but somehow less aggressive in the midsole. They have a short break-in period if they fit you right, and I'd say they're most comparable to the asics and the Nike Zoom High Jump 3s as well. Elites that use these have gone up in numbers recently, and that's because Puma has gone ahead and sponsored a whole bunch of high jumpers. The two most recent signings are Barsham and Wu, who have changed shoe and actually seen pretty significant performance dips. So I don't know if that speaks for the shoe. Additionally, Javon Harrison, Tamberi, and Nicola Olieslagers use custom Puma shoes. So they're not like these, the ones you can get on the market. They honestly look like Adidas shoes with a different coat of paint and Puma logos on it. That kind of speaks volumes about the shoe. Although to be fair, Yaroslava is wearing these shoes, and she kind of just destroys anyone anyway. My personal take on the shoe is, I don't actually own them, but my girlfriend really likes them. But to be fair, if elites are choosing to use custom shoes, and the ones who switch are struggling, I just don't think it's the best shoe on the market, and you could probably get better for a better price. So, they take number 4 on the list. And here comes a shoe I love, the Nike High Jump Elite. At US size 11 it weighs 332 grams, ever so slightly the heaviest on this list. They're a really wide fit true to size though. Really good if you have wider than normal feet, like me. They're very stiff, but they are the least stiff on the list, as well as the least aggressive, with a very fat sole. Look how wide this bitch gets, my god. They're most comparable to the Adidas, and the only reason that they're both kind of new tech shoes and outliers from any other waffle shoe before this. And the elites that use them are Ilya Ivanchuk and Nadaskow, Cunningham, and a lot of other high jumpers who recently got snatched by Puma. My opinion is they're by far the comfiest spike I've ever worn, albeit I do have very wide feet. There's zero break-in period, although they do take a little time to get used to since they are a lot flatter than other high jump spikes, and because of that they're less aggressive. I have been wearing these for a year, and the whole time I've been injury free. What I really like about them is that I can just feel super comfortable in them and really sprint into my run up without having to worry about getting hurt. If I'm absolutely honest with you, I do think these take maybe half a centimeter to a centimeter off your jumping. Like, to be fair, you can come in faster, which adds centimeters, but I just feel like you can't get as much force into the ground with them because they're so fat and so flat. I still recommend and love these shoes. If you're looking at them, get them. They also come in a lot of fucking sick colors, probably the flashiest spikes on the market, but they are number 2 on the list. The number 1 position and my current favorite high jump spike is the Adidas high jump spikes. At US size 11, they weigh the lightest at 226 grams. They're a mid-width fit, true to size, and honestly, with my feet, I feel like these could fit any foot type. They are very stiff, probably the second stiffest and second most aggressive, falling to the Puma and Asics in each respective category. Another thing they've got is they're also slightly raised, so they make you maybe a centimeter and a half taller. And I'd also say they're most comparable to the Nike high jump spikes, as in their new tech. But what they're doing is, I'm not sure if you can really see, it's kind of like a waffle with a normal stiff sole underneath, so it's like a mix of the Nike and kind of all the waffle tech. Just really nice stuff, and it works. Elites that use them include Eleanor Patterson, Wu prior to switching, and love it. But I do have a sneaking suspicion, like I said before, that Puma is just copying their shoe design and plastering it with their logo and colors for the athletes who want to use a custom version of their spike. Personally, they're the perfect mix of the new Nike tech and the old waffle tech, and it really works. They're also very aggressive, very stiff, they're raised a little. It's honestly just the perfect mix. They are a bit tough, so there is a small break-in period. It took me maybe 3 sessions to get really used to them, and the PBs just came after that, honestly. They're certainly not the comfiest shoe, but they're definitely the most complete and best performing shoe on the market by far. If you're looking at them, I recommend them. If you're looking at any other shoe, I'd almost say choose these unless you're a beginner. Cheers!